Hello, people. This is Good Natured Kitty, and I'm back for another Thursday vlog. So it's been a pretty productive week. Um, ugh, sorry. This is a new headset my husband got, and apparently it's really useful because you can take these things off and stuff, but it's a little funky. But anyway, so this week I got myself a new laptop. It'll be very useful for starting school and everything. We had ordered it, I think, on Wednesday of last week, and it was actually Tuesday that we got it because there's kind of a strange mishap. I didn't fully understand at the time, but I understand what happened now. It turns out they tried ordering from the warehouse nearby or something, and they didn't have it at that warehouse. So I came in to inquire how things are going with the order, and they started talking amongst themselves about this, that, and the other thing, and saying that they might have to reorder it. And that kind of put me in a panic that day because I was thinking, this, and I think this is on Saturday when it happened, but I kept thinking, what if every time they reorder it, it ends up being not in stock and they keep on doing. I didn't quite get what they're trying to. I don't know, but I got frustrated and started chewing them out. Well, not chewing them out, but just started kind of freaking out on them. And so they ordered one in through Utah, and it came in on Tuesday. Um, it's a nice laptop. I like it. I think it'll work really well for when I go back to college and everything. It's a lot lighter than the one I had. The other one I had is like 6 years old. It's actually right here. I'm sad that I'm not gonna be using it anymore, but um, times change. And the newer computer, it's got a lot better graphics. It's got like the facial recognition, which is pretty cool. Sometimes it doesn't recognize me. And Lucas says that's because you had to turn the light on. uh, maybe, but I don't know. Um, it's it's got Windows Ink, but I gotta get a stylus to use it, and I get a year of free no, not prescription, sorry, prescription. Sorry, can't talk today. Subscription to well, one's for McAfee, but there's also the Office 360, which is gonna come in handy too as I'm starting out school. It'll only be for a year though, so then I'll have to get other subscriptions as time goes by. But as I get things like that, I'm gonna save the receipts. I should try to get a receipt printed out on that computer because I don't think we have one. I don't know if you'd use it for when tax return time comes around or not, because technically it is for school and stuff. I'll probably get a receipt just in case. It doesn't hurt to try, I guess. Because we usually have people who help us with taxes anyway, and I can ask them about that. Because I know, like, anytime I've been to college, they end up asking me if there's anything extra that I've spent money on for college and stuff, and I never have an answer. I never save anything, but this year I'm gonna be prepared. But been getting things in order for school too. Hi, baby girl. You wanna um mostly financial aid stuff, but I'm kind of gonna have to give them a call, the financial aid office, because they when I went to the office the other day, they gave me a card with instructions on how to do this aid planning thing, and I keep getting stuck with it because in the instructions it says if a certain error message comes up, I'm to click forgot pin. But nowhere on that side am I seeing anything that says forgot pin. So I'm like drawing a blank as to what to do. I'll just have to call him and ask him. I'm also gonna have to make another call today to get my transcript sent over. So still gonna be doing more work today to get things ready for college. It's pretty exciting. I will need to see an advisor because I gotta talk to him about whether, because I was doing human service when I was in Kalispell. They don't have that option, but I'm wanting to see what would be my best bet um, for a degree, seeing as how I want to be an art therapist. Thinking they'll probably say psychology, but if they tell me that it'd be okay to go for social work and I could still get an art therapy degree, I might go for that because it'd be a little closer matching to what I was doing. More of my courses would count. More of my credits would count for it. And I think because I have some psychology things, and I love psychology. I love the idea of learning about um, partly about myself and partly about my nephew and just other people that I love who've had mental illnesses and stuff. And it's not even always just about mental illnesses. Like, for example, I took one on psychology of aging. We learned about what our brains do as we get older. Oh gosh, it's getting dark in here. Here. Maybe this will help. There we go. That's a little better. Um, we even learned about what happens when people have dementia. And that's interesting because their brain in a lot of ways reverts back to the way it was when they were a child. The part of you that kind of puts out the signals I want, it kind of um, expands a little bit, it gets bigger, and then the part for reasoning kind of gets smaller. Um, so like you get elderly people who you take them to the candy store, for example, they might grab a handful of jelly beans because they want jelly beans at that time. They're not going to be thinking about um, how to go about paying it for it or anything like that. They just want jelly beans. That kind of an example. And like the professor I had at the time, she would often talk about how um, at her mother's facility, toys, stuffed animals, and stuff like would migrate throughout the place because someone would see a teddy bear in someone's room that they wanted and they would grab it and stuff like that. Or they might even think, well, that's my teddy bear because they had one similar at one point. But anyway, just, you get to learn about all sorts of things that are really fun. And I don't know why, but everything's really pixelated. That's weird. I don't know how I'd fix that. And that's kind of bothering me. Hopefully it won't show up too bad in the video. But it might. Um, Apologize if it is a little pixelated. I'll have to talk to my husband, see what's going on with that. Anyway, moving on from that, I'll see what my advisor recommends and everything, and then go down that course. And, even if I could just get a bachelor's degree, I mean, I'd love to get the master's in art therapy, but even if I just end up with a bachelor's, that's still progress, and I can get out of, like, taking on jobs where I don't feel passionate about what I'm doing and start doing things that I feel more passionate about. Because I get so tired of working jobs where I feel like I'm serving other people's like as aspirations and stuff. I'm putting money in their pockets and I still get paid like a low wage, the same old low wage from one job to another. And most of the jobs I've ever had, like, you kind of you see all these politics of what's going on. And well, of course, with mental health stuff, there's a lot of politics with that too. I'd be more passionate, I think, to see like things take a better turn and everything. And that might even burn me out, who knows? But it's worth a try because I've always felt like, with all that I had suffered through with my mental illnesses, I always felt like I wanted to see a difference and I wanted to see people be able to push beyond the boundaries that are set up from having mental illness and everything. I'd like to help people to push beyond those boundaries because I feel in a lot of ways I've really overcome a lot of things I was going through, and most of it was from a healthier eating regimen, which case anyone that I try to help in the future, I will recommend to them healthy eating and stuff. I'll do my best to encourage it, to show them like nutritional information and how it can change the brain and stuff, because I feel more strongly about that than I do about the medications that they get. And I won't discourage them from taking medications because that's not my place to do, or it wouldn't be my place to do, but I just encourage them healthier eating and exercise. Walking, definitely. Walking's really good. Really, really helpful. Um, but anyway, I'm pretty excited. It's a lot bigger college than the one I was going to. A lot bigger. The lady I was talking to, though, she said everything's in a circle, so if I get lost, just walk the circle. And there's maps everywhere, too, so hopefully I won't get lost trying to figure things out. I'll have to try to learn where my classes are before the day that I go to do them, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. They do have tours, so I'll probably do a tour for orientation and everything. So another thing that's going on in my life besides that, though, my husband and I had decided, here we're getting some extra money, and most of it's going to go towards college and everything, but we thought it'd be fun to take a trip because we don't get to do that very often. And there's some things that, he's never seen and I haven't seen since I was a 7. And, you know, one of them is the ocean. Like I haven't seen the ocean since I was just a little girl. And we went to Disneyland, and it was sad because there was one point where my family saw a whale in the background of the ocean, and I couldn't see it. For some reason, I just couldn't figure out what they were looking at. And I feel disappointed to that day that I didn't see where the whale was. But we got to play in the sand, and they had to wash us off for the longest time to get all the sand off. The whole tub was filled with sand when they were done. And we got to go to Disneyland and all that sort of stuff. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna start in California and we're gonna see the coast, and then we're gonna drive along Route 66. And we got the days approved for the trip, so I'm really excited. Like, it's gonna be about 2 weeks that we'll be gone. While we're gone, Lucas and I talked about I'm probably going to like film some things possibly on the phone, maybe on my tablet. We'll see. And then I might upload little tidbits to show how things are going, maybe. We'll see how I do that. I don't know. If I can combine some of them into one video, that could be good, but I'll have to see how I can go about that. All I know is I'm really excited for it. It's gonna take place on Lucas's birthday. It'll start on the 23rd and it'll go into the beginning of August, like I think the 1st or 2nd. Of course, whether or not it can go that long will depend on one other thing, because my husband got a notice saying that he might end up having to go into jury duty. He's got to talk to them, or fill out the thing. I told him he ought to just call him and tell him that his father died and he really doesn't feel he'd be up to it. And then that way they can tell him, well, okay, don't worry about it then. Because that's what I had to do not long after my mom died. They tried sending me off to jury duty. I guess they like to pick people whose families has died for jury duty. I don't know. Um, but I called them and told them, and they're like, well, okay, don't worry about it. So I think he ought to do the same. Might be different for Idaho from Montana, but I don't see why it would be. I mean, how's he going to be able to concentrate on what they're telling him if he's still grieving, sort of thing. I think he should be able to be dismissed for it. I told him he could even try seeing if he could get a doctor's note for his headaches to see if he could be excused that way too. But we'll see where things go. I can't make the decisions for him. He's got to decide. Oh, but anyway, so yeah, that's some of the exciting things going on in my life. I may try playing around with my laptop and try making a video at some point and see how it comes out. If it comes out good, I'll probably start doing videos throughout the week of anything exciting that happens. That way, I could keep these vlogs a little shorter, and just stick to recapping on how I'm doing on my goals. 'Cause I think, they these videos kind of come out to about 30 plus minutes a lot of times, and it would be nicer to have them a little bit shorter. I'll probably do that this week if anything happens, like we get the car payment off, maybe I'll make a video talking about how it's finally paid off and I'm thankful that we won't have to make those monthly payments, or just stuff like that. Maybe like if anything more exciting happens about college and I end up taking another step, or just whatever happens. For the time being, let's see. So, talking about progress with my goals. So for the art goal, I've been working a lot on finding exercises to improve my capability as an artist. Improve my control and my shading and stuff like that. I was doing apples and I'm still doing apples to improve shading and stuff and like get a better idea of lighting. I've been having a lot of fun with that. Some new challenges I've come across is lines. Been working on making lines and trying to like trace over the lines to try to control like the movement of my hands so that I'm able to make straighter lines. Been practicing making circles. I've been doing circle around circle around circle sort of things. I've been playing with cross hatching. Not because that's how I want to shade or anything, but just because it's a good way to practice lines. Been also drawn out weaves because that's another good way, I guess, to practice lines as well. Maybe even it could be good to practice, what's the word? Anyway, forgot word. Insert word here. Oh no. But anyway, yeah, just a lot of practicing. My favorite one that I've learned to do, I learned on a YouTube video. This guy, and at first I was like, my gosh, this is a long video, and I was like, do I really want to watch this? But this guy, he makes like flows, almost like a strange current that just spins around on the paper. So like go like this sort of thing. And then, oh, my eyes are itching. Then he will draw out shapes. He does cone, cylinder, square, circle, and egg shapes. And he just draws them along the flow lines and stuff and makes them bend and contort to the same direction of the lines and stuff. And then afterwards he decides on direction of light, and then he shades things based on that direction. It's pretty fun. I have to admit, I actually enjoy it. I think his video's a little long for what it could have been. He could have shortened it up a little bit. I feel like after a while, some of the things he was saying was a little repetitive, but um, you watch a little further and he does make some points that he didn't before, which can be helpful. But I don't know. Um, it's kind of nice to practice a little bit and get a better handle um, of my lines and everything. I find it does seem to help quite a bit, and this is something I would want to do daily, because I guess repetition of practice, if you don't keep practicing, you can lose a lot of your capabilities for making circles and lines and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to do at work too, because I used to pull up images and try to draw those images on the computer. Now I'm a little more iffy about doing that, because I know that for some people they've actually taken away certain capabilities so that people would stop using the internet at the job for certain things. But most of those people are playing games and stuff, and not concentrating on the customer. Um, but still, I don't want them to get the idea that that's going to be a thing for me. So I figure by having these exercises, this would be a way for them not to catch me looking up things that they don't approve of, which is anything that's not job related. Um, this would be a way to where I can still practice my drawing techniques and stuff, um, and maybe get better at freestyle drawing, just drawing whatever's in my imagination. Um, but anyway, so that's where I am with drawing. And for exercising, last week I had noticed that I was feeling a little bit chunky. I still feel that here and there. I think something has me a little bloated, because at times I'm fine. Like I feel like my clothes just fit just fine. Other times I feel like everything's just a little tight. So for some reason, maybe there's something that I'm eating too much of, or I don't know. But I've just been really bloated here and there. And it might even be stress. Maybe I'm just stressed to the point. I might look into that though and see what maybe I need to eat more of to get rid of bloating, or what I maybe need to avoid that could be causing the bloating. Because it's not a fun feeling. I hate being bloated. It's a terrible feeling. I've been doing a thing though, just to try to get myself to snack on even healthier things, because sometimes I'll just snack on a bunch of peanuts. I've been cutting up vegetables and putting them in bags and eating them that way, and that's kind of nice. I've been getting into walking a little more, but one thing that where it's kind of hurting me is with my rosacea. I've noticed I've been a little more broken out, because it's been getting into the 90s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes even seems like it hits 100. Um, and my face does not like the heat, so it starts breaking out. So there might be times that like after work, I might have to just walk around the mall instead of starting towards home, even though I kind of like the idea of starting towards home and seeing how far I can get. I've even thought about maybe getting sun hats. I just don't feel like I'm a hat person, so I'm feeling a little iffy about it. I look at them, I put them down, and I just walk away every time I think about it. I should just allow myself to buy a hat. But my main frame of thought is if I get a hat, I want it to be something that works with a lot of the clothes I wear. And I don't know what that looks like to me. I mean, should I do like a straw hat or should I do one of those cloth hats? I know bucket hats seem like they might be coming back in. I saw one person at work wearing a bucket hat very similar to kind of like LL Cool J used to wear. I used to love my uh, bucket hat, but I don't know how much that would protect my face from the sun. I should also try getting I think it's like it's this carrot stuff, carrot oil or something? Carrot seed oil? I guess that protects against the sun too. I need to look into that maybe and just put it on my face every day. Well, maybe I can carry a little thing of it in my purse. I've got those roller things that are originally for you to put perfume in. I could probably put it in there and just like rub it on my face as I get off work. Something to look into. Anyway, because I don't want to stop walking necessarily. And I've been keeping on my mostly stretches, sometimes arm exercises and stuff. I try to do things that are not over strenuous because I don't want my face to break out any more than it has been. Because gosh, it's been a pain in the butt. It's been swelling up and itching and everything, and it was even to the point where I almost didn't even put makeup on today because I was just like, I don't want to give it any more reason to itch. Um, but yeah, it's such a pain. I hate having rosacea. I'd really like to see it go. I wish I can find some sort of breakthrough that talks about how to really let it get rid of it and stuff, and I get people who make suggestions, and some of them I just have to nod along and walk away because it's like I already do those things, and it's just ridiculous suggestions in my opinion, and I don't know. Like, and then sometimes people make a suggestion to where I'm like, that could work, I'll just try it. And I'm more likely to try homeopathic suggestions than others, just because it's kind of the direction I go on a lot of things. But I feel like natural solutions are better than the more medical ones, like the chemical type ones. I feel like there's got to be something natural out there that could help to bring this down, and I'm just not finding it. That's what my mind keeps telling me. Who knows how true it is? So far, it's been hard to find something like that. My most recent effort was witch hazel. Don't itch, cat. Um, and it it makes my face cleaner, I guess, but it's not helping. But anyway, with the cleaning, I'm gonna have to get a lot of cleaning done probably this week because I don't know if it's from the stomping around that my upstairs neighbor does or what, but for some reason the light in my kitchen, one of the wires on that light went loose and it's kind of hanging a little bit from that side. So we'll have to do a little bit of tidying up and we'll have to call the landlord and let him know what's going on. I don't think it'll be too hard to tidy up. I'll probably work on that today when I'm not working on getting things up and ready for college and stuff. Um, but anyway, so yeah, like next week or this coming week, I'm probably gonna keep practicing some of the little drawing techniques I've been learning. I might get into doing more freestyle stuff. Sweepy, you look so goofy right now. You look so goofy. Anyway, oh, Um, where was it? Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna try walking around at the mall instead of walking home just to see if my rosacea maybe clears up a little more from not being in the sun as much. Um, because I still want to walk because my husband and I we have a half hour difference as to when we get off, and I usually get a ride home with him. Um, so I'll probably just walk around at the mall instead and let him know that I'm gonna be there. If it's a cool day though, if it's like in the 70s, um, somewhere within that temperature, then I might be more likely to walk home. I just made my eye red. My eye's itching. See, that's another reason that it's bad for me to be out in that heat, is my allergies have been getting to me. And with 4th of July coming around, it's gonna get really, really bad. My eyes usually swell up really bad, and my throat swells up. It's really irritating. I just gotta keep on my apple cider vinegar and my honey to help to keep the symptoms down a little more and keep taking my allergy medicine. Um, I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, I used to love 4th of July, but with my allergies acting up the way they do, it's not always so fun for me anymore. Um, but yeah, as far as, but anyway, that's about all I have to talk about for now. Um, I'll probably do recaps here and there, like little videos, telling of anything exciting that might be happening, just to make my vlogs a little shorter so I don't feel like I have to recap the whole week. If things come to my mind, I'll just try making little videos. See how that goes. See if the videos come out good on my laptop or not. Who knows, maybe I'll even do them permanently on the laptop if they're good enough, but probably not. I'll probably still want to do my Thursday ones on this computer. So usually it's really good, but today it's looks like it's pixelated. It's gonna be better too when we do when Lucas gets the new parts that he's wanting to get for it. He's wanting to replace some pieces in there, like the motherboard, and there's a couple other things. I forget what they are, but I don't know. Anyway, that's about all I have for today, and I will talk to you guys again next Thursday, and I thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.